shoot, and we are at it again. Welcome to yet another episode of The Conversation Starter, where we talk and converse, and we'll talk and talk again. Well, we are to hit you today with a very controversial topic. It's been a debate to the masses, and it's still a debate, and it will forever be a debate, but I want us to tackle it in, and I don't come alone. I am with the Seshtown Waves crew, and we are the Lockdown crew, a podcast session that you will get on our YouTube space and all the media platforms that you can get to. On today's episode, we are going to be tackling a very controversial issue. Well, it's been a debate from back then, and it's still a debate, and I think it will forever be a debate. Well, is it now time for us to be having a black female president to be taking care of this country? Well, we'll talk about that after the break. Well, we still have our word out on art, and we'll be engaging more on the tips and how-tos, and we'll be seeing more of our local artworks. See you after the break. Like I told you, a very hot topic. They can be presidents of this country. Well, I mean, we've been leading for a long time, and we've been leaders, and we are leaders in our lives already. So now looking at things, how they are going, and with the kind of situation that we are having, more South Africa right now. Well, it's a world thing, but looking at how things are now being implemented in this country, we have our black women fighting in the forefront for what should now go back to normal and not back to normal. And we have this other species, our male species, that has been leading us all this way. Like, it becomes a war zone in decisions on life taken decisions just on but I'm like, okay, is it now time for us to really listen to the mothers as we have been listening to them all the time? Because we need to steer this ship very carefully and make sure that the children still remain safe. Like, can we take care of the people down there before we can say we raise a flag? Yeah, South Africa, like, which flag are we raising if the country is dead? So we're going to be having a very cool guest in-house. Our first vlogger in the province. Like, I chill with cool cats, hey, like, she's been in the game, she's introduced the game to the Bulukwani people, she's vlogging. Her name is Madson. She's a social media content creator, give the things, a personality and creative director. She enjoys hiking and camp, and very passionate about social issues. So we're going to be engaging with her, and she's going to be sharing with us her mind and her thoughts on we should be having a female president as the next leader of this country. So after the break. Welcome back, and we have our guest right here. Most of you might be knowing her from the social media, as she's the vlogger. She's been doing the things. She's there on the social media, and her name is Madson, like I said. And she's quite an interesting individual, and I love how she tackles issues on life. I love how she actually, like, she expresses life and ubona life we challenge her for this everyday things that comes, like she's doing your yoga, she's doing, like, hello Madson, how are you doing?
I'm okay, and how are you doing? Thank you for having me today.
You are most welcome. Like, I'm so in awe. Like, I can't wait for us to indulge with this topic. But in a nutshell, Madson and her life and her vlogging, like, where has it taken you thus far since you started?
So, elevator pitch, I would say, with my content creating, I focus more on the things that social media influencers don't focus on. For example, the conversations, the social issues, the one that we're about to have right now. Many people are afraid to touch on it because of history and also how they look at the future. And like you said, I do focus a lot on now things. I look at the current situation because I believe in living in the present.
Yes, Tabi Madson, can we now like engage on this topic? Like the debate on the surface on the capabilities of women actually being leaders. Like, what's your take on that? Which side are you siding with? Do you think they're capable or do you think they're not capable of actually being leaders?
I think it's actually been long overdue for us to have a try at having a female black president because of, yes, patriarchy has been in the system for a long time, but we're forgetting that matriarchy also existed and also there were positives, the same as there's positives with patriarchy. So if we interchange and have matriarchy and then from time to time patriarchy, we can be able to fix a lot of underlying problems, especially with what's happening now with coronavirus. So it needs a little bit of change with how things are being handled. Yeah, that's what I think.
Oh, okay. So we are taking it back to the motherly energy of actually seeing how we can actually solve issues that is for the whole masses and not for certain individuals. So,
Because,
okay.
yeah, like the way you're saying for the whole masses, we are all hurting. It's not only South Africa. We are all hurting. And the way we look at the hurt is not the same. Looking at gender roles and all of that. So when a child is sick, even though I'm not saying that the father will not be able to take care of the child, but we always run to our mothers. So right now with what's happening with the pandemic, it's the perfect time for a female. Yeah.
Okay, so do you think this is a matter of men actually, maybe they're scared of the change of actually being submissive to women? Do you think maybe that's actually that element of the male ego?
I don't really like throwing this word around, but because of toxic masculinity, that was an underlying, let me say, almost like foundation for patriarchy. Women being in power is a threat for men, which I hope we're gonna have a whole conversation deep into that. But it's a threat. Yes, I feel like not many men would be very receptive to having a female president. Not even just her being female, but also like bringing the race back into the mix. Also, and also remembering, like I said, we have a lot of underlying issues outside of the pandemic. So there's also going to be tribalism. There's a lot.
It's going to open a whole lot of can of worms.
But a woman in power is a whole shot at men.
Okay, it's very interesting because I'm wondering, like, okay, do we have sort of like a protocol or attributes that an individual should have for them to actually take a stand and be a president? And I'm asking if we don't have those attributes, like the women leaders that we've been seeing. I mean, Umama Madikizela Mandela passed on, but the nation stood firm, like, you know, this person has been driving this nation. And now we are having Nkosazana Zuma tackling all these issues they want to put on the forefront, but looking on other things, it's like actually those things that you want to break out, it's going to break the country because you are taking the power of the rulers forward. And she's looking at those things rather than just saying, okay, these are the things that we want for the country and let the fundings come and let's deal with this pandemic in this way. But we are actually looking at the harm in the far future. So I'm asking myself, does the government say the women leaders who are already there don't have attributes to fall on the part of being a president? Is it there?
Yes and no.
Okay.
The Constitution of South Africa, even though many people will disagree with me, is based on tradition and religion. A lot of the rights that we have are, as much as even now, I heard that they're trying to fix it, if also that they've already fixed it, but I'm bringing it up. I'm so sorry.
Let's converse, babes. This is the platform.
All religions were accepted except in South Africa, except Muslim. The Muslim religion was not recognized as much. They didn't have as many rights. And if you check, the most basic rights are more leaning towards the Christianity, because the Christianity are the ones in majority. And then if you check, the leadership roles are also like more on traditionally the patriarchy system. Men are more trusted by other men to make decisions because of how tradition sees women. So the government, yes, does not think that a woman would be able to lead the country, and no, because they are somewhat opening the platform for people like Phumzile Mlambo-Ngcuka. She was the vice president, and now Nkosazana is also getting the chance to even voice out. Just having one person, even if it's not all of them, but just having one person means we are shifting a little bit from our perspective.
Okay, so you believe we'll eventually get there, since there are these
But
baby
we're taking
steps.
too long.
I think we are is it that the only space where we are going to say, okay, women will be like the sub, or they'll play the second-hand deputies and whatnot, because like we're talking about the actual leadership here, and those are like, I'm asking myself if like, are we going to let this country just fall into shams because of this issue in a whole lot of categories, and we still have a long way to go, because our country, like, really so,
our country has a lot of issues.
Like, patriarchy takes the lead in everything that actually drives this country. And very, very interesting right there. I mean, like, the role of the female is very deep, hey? So, but now, would you say then leadership is now being genderized?
Yeah, I would say leadership is something that doesn't need to be seen from a certain gender's perspective. Leadership is just a person who's capable of leading people in something or in a certain way, and that person has to have or attain certain qualities, and those don't come with being a boy or being a girl.
It's just that comes with a certain human being.
It doesn't even matter your race. It doesn't even matter your political affiliation. It doesn't matter any of even gender, like the way you're saying now. Like, it's now become genderized, but it's not something that should be genderized.
We are living in that kind of a country right now, hey? Guys, like, gender has been based on things that are actually not supposed to be based on. Like, now the leadership of this country is just going into shambles, and we've been crying about actually having a mother to steer this ship, but now the gender aspect is coming in front and taking ownership. But thank you so much for actually digging deep into this interesting conversation and giving us your thoughts on this. Thank you so much.
This was a privilege. Thank you also for having me.
And After this, don't forget the word out on art. Adios.